this league, I started a simple 3-rule challenge that transformed Path of Exile 2 from a fantastic action RPG into an addictive roguelite. And the weird part, the more I played this way, the harder it became to play Path of Exile 2 any other way. Every run felt different, every death mattered, and even failed runs still made the next one stronger. Randomized builds, solo self-found, hardcore. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how this formula works and why it's made it almost impossible for me to go back to normal Path of Exile 2. In most roguelites, you don't get to force the exact build you want every run. Instead, you adapt to what the game gives you. So to recreate that feeling in Path of Exile 2, I spin 2 wheels, one for skill and one for ascendancy, 3 times. 3 random builds. Pick one and push it as far as possible. A lot of roguelites use some kind of pick one of 3 system, so this felt like the perfect way to start each run. And honestly, this might be the most transformative rule of the entire challenge, because now there's skill expression before the run even starts. Do you pick the safe meta option, or the weird off-meta build that might secretly be amazing? Honestly, I want to know. When you guys play Path of Exile 2, do you stick to proven builds, or do you enjoy experimenting with weird stuff? One run, I chose Poison Burst Arrow Witch Hunter. At first, I almost picked another option. I asked myself, is poison even good? Does Witch Hunter even work with poison? How good is Sorcery Ward? But that run ended up becoming my strongest of the league. That's the cool thing about randomized builds. Every run becomes a puzzle. Sometimes the wheel gives you a meta build, sometimes it gives you complete nonsense. And suddenly, you're on PoE Ninja trying to figure out how anyone has made this skill work before. Even if nobody has played that exact combination, there's still something to learn from players experimenting with similar ideas. Which supports are they using? Are there uniques that could be build defining? And weirdly enough, constraints help. When your build is chosen for you, you stop wasting energy debating hundreds of possibilities. Instead, you focus. You figure out your scaling tags, your defenses, your damage layers. You solve. Constraints force adaptation, and adaptation forces learning. If you want to see how far these constraints can actually be pushed, subscribe, because honestly, I'm already trapped in the loop. The second rule is solo self-found, and this one changes Path of Exile 2 more than I expected. In roguelites, there usually isn't some giant economy where you can instantly buy whatever item you need. You work with what you find. So by playing solo self-found, your ability to find, craft, and manage gear becomes the core of progression. But the biggest change? Your stash transforms completely. At some point, I realized my stash isn't just storage for this run, it is meta progression for future runs. That low-level unique that dropped on a failed run? It's no longer stash clutter. It's the starting item that carries your next character through early game. Your currency tabs aren't just wealth anymore, they are your kindling for your future upgrades. Even gold starts to matter because it helps future characters get moving sooner. Every failed run leaves something behind. And that's exactly how meta progression works in roguelites. You fail, but future runs become slightly stronger because of what dropped or what you learned. And eventually, something interesting starts happening. Your game knowledge becomes progression too. You begin recognizing dangerous encounters earlier, you understand scaling faster, you know which defenses actually matter. You stop making beginner mistakes. The first time I tried this challenge, I died in Act 2. It was humbling. But the next run, I made it all the way to endgame. Not because I suddenly had insane gear, but because I understood the game better. That knowledge carried over harder than any item ever could. Randomized builds create variety, and solo self-found creates progression. Neither of these rules matter without real stakes. That's where the final rule changes everything. Hardcore. One life. Like any good roguelite, failure is immediate and obvious. If your character dies, the run is over. And trust me, you will die. Sometimes it's greed, sometimes it's overconfidence, sometimes it's walking into a league mechanic you absolutely should have respected. What's the most painful death you've had in Path of Exile 2, hardcore or not? The Temple personally ended 3 of my 5 runs this league. And yeah, it hurts, but surprisingly, I've found hardcore more motivating than discouraging. Because when a run dies, it usually feels traceable. I can look back and say, okay, that decision killed me. I got impatient there. I pushed content I wasn't ready for. And once I understand why I died, I usually want to go again immediately. That's the magic of roguelites. One run ends, another begins. The cycle continues. Failure isn't the end. Failure is progression. Every run teaches you something. And beating your personal best feels incredible in hardcore. Making it farther than the last character. Surviving encounters that used to kill you. Finally clearing bosses that once felt impossible. The stakes completely change the emotional experience of the game. Every close call matters. Every upgrade matters. Every boss matters. And suddenly, Path of Exile 2 starts feeling less like a grind and more like a roguelite. These rules didn't just make Path of Exile 2 harder, they made it meaningful again. Every run became its own story. Every death became a lesson. And every new character became another attempt to solve it better. Honestly, this challenge completely changed how I experienced the game. So now I'm curious, what would you count as winning this challenge? Is it beating the campaign? Clearing the new endgame fortress? Killing pinnacle bosses? Or is the run only truly over when the character dies? It sounds like grinding gear games is giving us plenty of time to experiment, so naturally, I've already started cooking up alternative challenge ideas. What else can we let the wheel decide? If you've got ideas, let me know. See you on the next spin.